If you had to rank, I'm going to go on a quick tangent. If you had to rank the Kings announcers, like first, second, and third with Mark, Kyle, and Katie, would you be able to rank them for me in your subjective opinion right now?
Okay. I don't know. I know that there's a lot of mixed opinions, so I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. So I feel very comfortable getting my feet into this. Um, you know, I think that she says a lot of things that sometimes make me roll my eyes and just go like, "What the hell are you even talking about?" Because I think her job is PR for the team partially, but I do think Katie Christensen, she does provide very valuable analysis, which you can't really say that about the other two.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a
So
good.
she slides up. She basically floats to the top there.
So she's number one. Katie Christensen,
Number
lost the
one in my
Hunter.
heart. Number one in my heart. Katie Christensen, how you doing? I hear it's just Katie Christensen now.
Yeah, she dropped that Hunter. I don't know how long ago, but
I don't know, man. I don't know.
She wasn't Katie. I feel like she was Katie Hunter, and then it was Katie Christensen Hunter, and then so when Katie Christensen, Katie Hunter, Katie Christensen Hunter, and now she's just Katie Christensen again. And it was like in a very maybe like a 2 or 3 year span when all that happened. Maybe even 2 seasons, I swear. But yeah,
Katie Christensen's number one in my heart, and I'm now the Katie Christensen Hunter. I'm on the hunt. I'm after you, hungry like the wolf. No, I'm just kidding.
Like Duran,
Duran, baby. And then number two for me, just because I kind of have an affinity for him, I just kind of think he's kind of. I mean, if we started off the podcast, it's kind of like he's just kind of. It's kind of a funny guy. I don't know, maybe it's not intentional, but I'm not laughing at him. You know what I mean? It's just like he just cracks me up in a weird way. Even though I think he's probably got the least basketball knowledge of the three. Kyle Draper is number two, and then Mark Jones is number three. And Mark Jones is like I get like a lot of people like him, but he's just not for everybody. It's just he's probably the least genuine of the three. I think he's the least genuine,
professional.
And I think he tries a little too hard. Yeah. I think people who think he has a big vocabulary are wrong. His redundancy with word choice drives me nuts. But I'm a literature major, so that's kind of that's honestly obnoxious for me to even point out. But I think another thing too is he just seems the least invested and knowledgeable about the franchise. Like Christensen and Drapes, they seem so. They seem like they're kind of like they're part of this. I don't know. Like Mark Jones has got that ESPN job and all that, and good for him. But I don't know. I feel like it takes away from some of his knowledge of the Kings. Sometimes it feels like I think I saw a tweet. Someone was like, it just doesn't even sound like he knows anything about the Kings. You wouldn't even know that these are the home announcers, that these are the night in and night out announcers. And they're pointing mostly to him. And I don't want to dog on him too much. I feel like now I'm dogging on him too much. But yeah, I do think he's funny when he starts I said this earlier a couple weeks ago. I like it when he whips out some rap lyrics. I'm just like, okay, all right. He just that kind of stuff cracks me up. He's kind of like he's an interesting personality. That makes me laugh every once in a while, but kind of makes me kind of groan a lot and roll my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I would like to see. I would like to see a broadcasting duo of Jones and Drapes. I think because it's either Draper and Christensen or Jones and Christensen.
I think Drapes could do that swingman role. I think he could go over and do color commentary.
I feel like he would be better at color commentary. I mean, not so much in the basketball knowledge part, I suppose, but he's not a very good play-by-play guy. I think Jones would definitely be better at that. But I feel like that combination would remind me of Grant and Jerry a little, where Grant was this super serious guy, professional, I'm a broadcaster, and Jerry's over there just making, just kind of like an oddball, just saying these weird things. And then Grant's just over there like shaking his head. He's like, Jerry, like, shut the hell up, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Like this old fucking crazy man. Like, all right.
Yeah, they don't really make broadcasting duos like that anymore. They're definitely not part of the. It doesn't help the brand, I don't think.
Yeah, but
because you could tell. It's just with Christensen, it's just like that's one of the biggest negatives is when she says stuff that it's like you're not being honest. This team's playing terribly. It's usually things like that. It's like that's when it drives me nuts because it's just like, well, now you're a PR person, and it's funny because like. On away games, because it's expensive to travel. Journalists really, except for Jason Anderson, apparently, most of the journalists can't travel on the road. But so you'll have like Katie Christensen sometimes asking questions, and it's just kind of like I get it's nice to have Brown respond to outside thoughts and whatnot, but it's just like those questions are just not going to be tough at all because it's like her job is not to critique Mike Brown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just, I guess it's funny because you brought up the old broadcasting crew, and I just feel like, that was a little more, I guess the objective, the better, in my opinion,
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, that should be, it's like journalism 101, right? And you have to be objective. And
absolutely. And especially for a franchise that hasn't been to the playoffs in 16 years, it's like, don't bullshit these people. Come on.
Nothing's worse than the Kings being down like 30. And Katie's like, I don't think the Kings' play tonight is reflective of the score. I'm like, what are you talking about? He just says that way too often in blowouts. I'm like, we're down by 30. They've looked like shit all night. Like, why are you like docking them up now? Like, it's like, yeah, this game's not out of hand yet. Like the 25-point deficit nowadays is like a 15-point deficit a couple of years ago. I'm like, there's 3 minutes left in this game. We're shooting 20% from three. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. And I think also there's just also like another element to her that's just like it brings out like the worst like side of a fan where it's just like every foul call that doesn't go like now, granted, I think this most recent game against the Grizzlies, that was one where I don't think I've seen like such a disparity in fouls being distributed since like the no call to Kevin Huerter's 3-point attempt against the Warriors earlier in the season. Like I haven't had a moment like that since because that game, and it's definitely freaking Ja Morant, which is just he gets me to clench my jaw. That's why they call him Ja Morant because he just pisses me off. It's like what the like this guy is ridiculous. One of the 40 wins, baby, the summer league, our boy Nadeem the Dream.
Nadeem and Sean.
Yeah, well,
it was
Nadeem,
Sean who said it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Nadeem, I think he posted on Twitter. I'm not close friends with this fella at all, but he's we had him on the podcast. Nice guy, and he's a Kings legend. But he posted that the Kings ought to start screaming every time that they approach the rim because that seems to be the secret to Ja Morant's ability to get fouls. And he does. He freaking is Tarzan freaking swinging through the freaking jungle in there going, ah! Followed by whistle.
And he's turning into the new Harden in that sense. It's just like,
yes,
I'm just going to run as hard as I can into the paint and just create as much contact as I can. And there's, I'll probably get a call to go my way. And it's how it seems to be when he plays the Kings. I don't watch the Grizzlies outside of the Kings games, but every time he plays the Kings, that's how it is. So I can't imagine it's much different. It's just the worst kind of basketball. Just trying to draw fouls. And yeah, he's a good finisher, but it's just like, stop rewarding this guy for just, running straight into the paint, arms flailing, and expecting to get a call because contact is obviously going to get made. So let's not get started on Ja.
Well, yeah, but my point about Katie Christensen was that in the 99% of games, it's just like every freaking call does not go the Kings' way. It's just like, oh, come on, he's pushing. Or it's just like when they were playing the Suns, it's like Devin Booker's pushing off. I'm like, dude, like, where have you been, man? Like, when it's hardly a push off, and it's like you go to the other side of the floor. You're seeing Monk do it in that game. I remember. I think I have it in my notes. I could pull it up. But it's just like those things balance out, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that Grizzlies game was this most recent one was an exception. I do feel.
Yeah, I feel it.
Like that Lyles blocking foul. That was just, and then they challenged, and I thought, okay, they're going to overturn that, and it's just like no. And the other thing, because John Morant, they correctly called him for a block because his foot was in the restricted area.
Yes.
But the amount of bitching that guy does, I'm just like, dude. Like, I don't know. You never won a championship.
Yeah.
Have you earned this? Like,
Yeah.
why the hell?
Exactly.
I feel like maybe this is just like, I admit that like my knowledge outside of the Kings when it comes to the NBA is it's super extensive. Like, but it does feel like that the NBA really pushed John Morant more than Morant pushed himself in terms of like becoming a preeminent star. Am I crazy about that?
No, they were really pushing him. Like, I think at the end of his second season, and he's a fun player. I get it. He's like he's a highlight reel, right? That's why everyone loves him. Because he gets to the rim like that, and he has great finishes, and he can throw him down, and he tries to throw him down. He's fearless, going on the drive. But yeah, they pushed out a little too hard, and he knows it. He sees that, and the media at the end of the day is the one who decides who's a star and who's not, right?
That's true.
So, I mean, yeah, he's I don't like Morant. I really don't like the Grizzlies at all.
Steven Adams, though, I
like Steven Adams. I really do.
That guy,
he killed us.
he's the real MVP of that team.
Oh yeah.
Shame that he could not pull that one out. But we were Did you want to rank? Were you kind of saying earlier that Kyle Draper was your number one?
I was gonna say Draper is my number one. Yeah.
He does seem like the guy I'd want to get a beer with.
Yeah, I don't like. I feel like it's just like three not very good options personally. Just like I gotta rank these guys. So it's like Draper. I don't know. He's just a goofball, I guess. That's number one for me. I don't know.
It's your boy Drapes.
Yeah, it's just like I hate it. I hate when he says that, but just like whatever. You're number one. I just like his phrases. He's heating up like a fine wine. I remember he said that. Like, what? Like, what? Okay. And it's not even funny. It's like pisses me off. Like, this is my broadcasting crew, but he's just like there to have a good time, it seems like. And it's something I appreciate. Mark Jones comes off way too fake. I feel like, I don't know, just like, if you want to be the Kings announcer, do it full time or don't do it at all. At least Draper would take the job full time. And I get Mark Jones has the ESPN job. It's like, I don't know. Either do it full time or don't do it at all. That's my opinion.
You're not Mike Breen in the Knicks. Breen in the Knicks. It's the only.
Yeah, it's a little different.
And that's the freaking Knicks.
It's the Knicks. Yes, exactly. It's just like Mark. Yeah, it's Mark. Like anyone else, maybe not anyone else, but maybe it's other people I'd be okay with. Like Mark Jones. Like, come on. I didn't know Mark Jones existed or was an ESPN broadcaster before he joined the Kings. Honestly, I probably like, oh yeah, that guy, but like, I didn't know Mark Jones, and I didn't really care. It's like Mike Breen, Kevin Harlan. His name isn't up there with those guys and those.
Okay, I don't think Kevin Harlan's a good announcer at all. But
I love Kevin Harlan.
I think he's just he's kind of maybe it's late. Yeah, he's got the voice, sure, but maybe it's lately. He just seems like he's kind of losing it. I think, and I don't think he was ever like the most perceptive of them. Like Mike Breen is my favorite. There's a reason he does the finals. He's gonna go down in history.
Yeah,
so many
really
all the bang call. I mean, that's just like one of those things that doesn't get old, which is like rare. That just has to be organic, and it is. Just everything. He just came up through the soil organically. Felt like, I don't know, at least based on his work.
What is Kevin Harlan's TNT? What is he?
Yeah, TNT, and I think he also does football games and shit.
He does do football games, yeah. I think on CBS. I think he's a CBS guy.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm thinking of mostly because I think he's probably I probably should give him more credit in terms of doing basketball, but football, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah,
it seems like he's meant to do basketball because it almost seems like he's trying to do football. I mean, basketball commentary when he's doing football. This has turned into a whole analysis of
this isn't even Kings anymore. But, I hope you guys are enjoying it, nonetheless. But
if you made it this far, here's a code for 100% off at this team shop. No.